the key thing for me with the coaching was twofold. So number one, getting a recommendation from someone who got real results in their own life from the coaching. So I got a referral, which is how I found you. Actually, the guy recommended you to me. And secondly, obviously confidentiality and professionalism, but just the ability to have those conversations with an objective sounding board was very, very powerful and very useful. Ronan, as I said, was able to help me understand and get perspective on a number of sort of areas of significant change in my life, including a move with my employer to another country and a completely new role. And that role was a startup, almost like a startup context. So starting a regional headquarters in Singapore, essentially from a serviced office, and no people. So that was a great challenge, but also obviously a new area, a new country for me. So again, having the ability to discuss that with someone completely objective was very helpful.
Sometimes you reach a point in your business and personal life where you can really only go as far as you've come. Sure, you might be learning new skills and tweaking and growing, but a real fundamental shift that you need to really project your business forward and make you look at things a different way sometimes needs outside assistance. And that's really where Ronan came in for me. Ronan's really been able to help me unlock potential I didn't know was in myself and in my business. And really since I guess I did have my eyes open to what potential was out there, it's been nothing but success ever since. Great opportunities have come for me personally, and also for the way in which the business has grown and in the way that I've been able to grow my team and the talent within my business. We've certainly increased profits. We're going after different kinds of clients that we might never have thought were the kind of clients we should be going after before. It's given us an innate confidence and bravery to really just keep driving forward in where we're taking the business and keep dreaming and being inspired as to where we're going to go next. I think everybody could gain something from having a chat to Ronan about where their business is at and where it might dream to be in the future.
Through this process, and I think the difference with what you do is actually that it's not a course, and you don't walk away and go, I'm never going to use that again. You've actually given me the tools that I need to succeed in my work life, but also my personal life. So understanding myself better has meant that I can have a more fulfilled life, but also a more fulfilled working life, which is really the best bit. The other parts are obviously the practical tools to make that happen. I'm a practical person. I need, how do I do this? How do I make it work? You gave me that. And also, the understanding of what true leadership is. I think people think that it's just managing a team and it's this and it's that. It's so much more than that, and getting that balance right was the best bit that I got out of our time together.
The biggest insight for me really was discovering who I was. I think one of the biggest challenges I've had in my career to date is imposter syndrome, combined with not really knowing why I was doing what I was doing and just following the flow and living kind of day to day like the status quo, but feeling like there was something else as well. So my biggest insight was finding out really who I was, confronting a lot of the challenges I'd not wanted to confront in my life, realizing that pretty much anything was possible, and just becoming a lot happier with myself. Everyone I've recommended to Ronan has had a positive outcome, several of whom are still talking to Ronan today and have gone on to really great things with their own life and careers as well.
Well, I don't know whether I would have been confident to go for a leadership role such as this, where I'm running the country for a big brand, if I hadn't worked on myself so thoroughly with the coaching. It's completely invaluable. It's something that therapy is sort of a big thing in the world today. Everyone has a therapist in America, supposedly, but I prefer being in exec coaching just because it the understanding of the corporate world and what the pressures are and what it's like to be in an office 5 days a week. And the different challenges that come with that, and the introspection that's required, the accountability, the understanding of the people around you and the way energy works between people is completely invaluable. So I would advise that if anyone has had any issues at work, and most people do, like it's I'm not at all in the minority. So the thing, I think people live with it, and they live with being unhappy at work. And so I would recommend, if you are unhappy at work, or if you've got a situation that keeps coming up and you can't understand why it's happening, that exec coaching will be amazing for you and invaluable. And it could change the way you see the world, not just at work, but in every single way. I wouldn't be saying any of this if I didn't recommend Ronan, because Ronan has been the big change in my life, my perspective of the world, and my taking accountability for myself, and has changed, I think, the direction of my career, but also my life in general.
When I started the program, a lot of it was how to get the best out of myself in my current position. But it really kind of transformed from that initial phase very quickly, to be honest, into future phases where we dealt with kind of more personal and transformational issues in terms of leadership and how I take a more active role in driving my own personal career. I would really recommend Ronan. I think, it doesn't matter what stage you are in your career or what your aspirations are, he really has a lot of really actionable insights that really help drive whatever your personal objective is.
I'd never run a business above a certain level, and I knew that I was growing, and I knew that I was growing rapidly, but I needed help and direction in order to reach that level. A colleague of mine, Lorraine, referred me across to Ronan, and from that moment it changed my life and changed my business and allowed me to take opportunities that I never thought were possible. Through quite a few different strategies that we looked at, growth analogies, and also restructuring the entire team, we grew by 120% across to 2016, which was fantastic. And then we took a little speed bump through 2016 and had this moment where the business had to be realigned, and we reevaluated it. And since then we've come out of it and had some of our strongest months ever. It's been amazing. Once it started growing, I needed the skills to build a bigger team, engage with people on a global scale, work with VCs and understand what they're talking about and understand every term that they have, and also understanding how to structure and build companies, as well as navigating the entire process from funding, conception, to doing a deal, to calling Ronan at the middle of the night from London to cross-check across different ideas, and from Dubai at different times. All of that type of information was something that's been invaluable in getting out, and also from my growth, from taking from being a small managing director to now the CEO of a company that's got offices in 2 regions. Ronan to me is kind of the person that when you're looking to grow, he'll be there and have your back to help you find the right way and navigate the right path of it. He'll play devil's advocate and ask you some of the hardest questions that you'd never think about asking yourself, and also put you in the hot seat to make you really evaluate every decision that you're working on. Conversely, when the chips go down and businesses don't all trend up, and there will be the bumpy times, it's the times when you sit down and look at your P&L and you go, right, if I had to make sacrifices, what would I get rid of? And I'd rather work out of a cardboard box, work out of my garage, than give up my time with Ronan, because I know that working with him I'd get through it, and I'd sacrifice rent and other things before that in order to maintain it, because I could build a business with Ronan, and all the other things are just immaterial. And to me, with that and the type of knowledge I get out of it, is just unbelievable. And I wouldn't now have an agency that's doing phenomenally and have got investment capital in a brand new business that we're bringing to market without his expertise and guidance.
It just got to a point where I didn't know what was next and what I wanted to do, because I'd achieved what I wanted to do. And a friend of mine was actually working with you, and I'd noticed in him massive changes. We didn't talk specifically about what you'd done with him, but I'd noticed such a change in him, both at work and in himself. There was just a real sort of clarity in what he wanted to do, who he was, and just a comfort in being himself that just came through from the work he'd done with you. So I thought I'd give you a call and see if you could help me. It absolutely did help. Pretty quickly, I think we got to a few sort of core issues, And I guess similarly to what I saw in my friend, I started understanding myself much better, understanding what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be, who I wanted to be, and without telling me those things or leading me down a path, I never felt you were leading me down a path. I could see that you knew a way to get those things out of me, and did it at my own sort of time and my own pace. And so I really got to understand myself much better. In my career, I feel like I've developed a whole new career. I always saw myself as working as an employee for a big company. I always felt very comfortable there. I thought that's what I was used to. It's what I thought my ambition was. And over the past couple of years, I've completely changed that, and now I'm potentially looking at starting my own company, working for myself and really deciding my own future.